next to him. Revs starting to rise now. Red lights go on. And out they go. And it's a good start by Sean Traynor. Not such a good start by Paul Cook. It looks like Adam Lockwood's made a decent start. He's slotting in behind there. Behind the race leader, Sean Traynor. Also making a good start is Ben Rowe in the number 31 car, the perennial front runner in this championship as well. But it looks like it's Sean Traynor that's going to have the advantage as they drop down through the Craner curves for the first time. 31 cars due to take the start of this race. A mixture of Mark 1s, Mark 2s and Mark 3s. It should be a Mark 3 Roadster out in front once we pick the cars up at the old hairpin, which we will do in just a second. So we think it's Sean Traynor that is ahead. Here he is as he heads up towards Schwantz Curve for the first time. He's got Adam Lockwood behind him.
That's right. Poor start, as you were saying, from Paul Cook, and he's dropped way back. So he has work to do as the field turn their way then through McLean's and up towards Coppice, where Sean Traynor leads the way. It's going to be hard to beat him on the form of the earlier race where he won round 1 of the championship. This is round 2 for some people, including him, and round 1 for others. As they make their way down the exhibition straight, absolutely door to door there is that Jim Mew in 78, I think in 71 is Mailings, so that's Graham Mailings and Jim Mew that run side by side. You've got Alistair Topley there, who is there in the Rogue Motorsport prepared car, the Mark II. But for second place, Ben Rowe challenging Adam Lockwood. Then in a gap back to 4th, where Mailing still has Jim Mew trying to find a way past. This time Mew gets down the inside for the hairpin. But at the moment, Adam Lockwood actually is going with race leader Sean Traynor. And for 4th, well, they're still side by side. But Jim Mew is ahead. Alistair Topley is side by side behind them with the car of Neil Stratton. So plenty of battles early on, but Adam Lockwood doing what Aaron Cook struggled to do earlier and going with Sean Traynor. Yeah, absolutely right. The first 3 have broken away because Ben Rowe's there as well. Then there's this gap back to number 78, Jim Mew, who started on row 5 up to 4th position. He's made a great start and got ahead of Graham Mailings, who started 4 places ahead of him indeed on the opening lap of the race. Field all filtering through Redgate Corner for the second time. A few bright pink liveried cars. We see the number 14 car going through as well. That's Gareth Baxter. He's a driver that we've seen in a Mark 1 in the past, and he's one of these that's made the switch to a Roadster in Mark 3. There is the 27 car then of Sean Traynor, still ahead of the number 11 car, Adam Lockwood, in second place. And then here's this next group of cars, which includes Ali Topley, doesn't it, in the 41 Mark 2. Yeah, he's up there in 6th. We just saw the best of the Mark 1s that are getting very sideways. That was Dave Hemingway, who runs in 14th, which at the start of that was only 1 place behind Paul Cook, the podium finisher from race 1, the driver that started on the front row, but has obviously had some problems getting the car off the line, and therefore has work to do to get back through the field. And the field come en masse down towards the S's. Some battles further back in the pack here we look out for, including 99, which is William Bogus, new driver to the series. And there is 13, Rise Dorman, who's been around the MR2 Championship for a few seasons. Yeah, Dan Sylvester, being asked on the comments, is not in this race, I don't think. He'll be out later on. We've got a yellow flag at the Melbourne hairpin. We know not why. As Alistair Topley, I should say, makes his way past Jim, is that up into 4th position? We'll try and get that confirmed. Yes, it is. He's now up into 4th and 2nd of the Class B cars, the Mark II cars. So it's Sean Traynor leading, Adam Lockwood in 2nd. 3rd is Ben Rowe. 4th now is Ali Topley. 5th is Jim Mew. 6th is Graham Mailings. And 7th is the Neil Stratton number 84 car. That's the bright yellow Roadster. And then 8th is the number 69 car, which is that of Danny Bryant. A little bit of news from the earlier race here, and Aaron Cook has lost his 2nd place finish for exceeding track limits. Ah, right. Where is he classified in the end? Ended up being 6th, so that's a bit of drama and a little bit of sort of warning for the rest of the MR2 Championship drivers not to exceed track limits. Absolutely right. So that's a blow for him at the start of his championship campaign. I'm sure Sean Traynor will be keeping his wheels between the white lines as a result of that, to make sure his victory here is not in doubt.
watch these three roadsters together, and it's fantastic to see more and more of these roadsters coming out. It's a really affordable way to go racing, and a really nicely set up car, this, the Mark III Roadster. Absolutely, and
They are coming out on top so far. And Adam Lockwood is going really well, isn't he? In the second position. Only 6/10 behind race leader Sean Trainer. Here is Jim Mew in 5th, 6th Graham Mailing, 7th Neil Stratton, 8th Daniel Bryant. And they turn their way then through the S's and onto the Grand Prix loop. There is Lockwood. He is still with race leader Sean Trainer, who runs out wide, and this gives Adam Lockwood the chance to draw up alongside the race leader, the former champion Sean Trainer. But Trainer just about has that covered on the inside line. But Adam Lockwood here is certainly taking it to Trainer, who was a little bit sideways there through the Goddard hairpin. That means at the end of 3 laps, nothing can separate the 2 leading cars, with Adam Lockwood going after the race lead and looking up the inside.
He is. Paul Cook 12th. We didn't see, I don't think, what happened to him, but
well, he made that really slow start and then hasn't really got going since, has
he? He's in 12th now. Is he making any progress? Not particularly, no. He's not lapping faster than the cars ahead of him.
So it suggests that there might be some kind of problem that caused the bad start, and he hasn't been able to rectify out on track.
So Ben Rowe flying the flag for the Mark II competitors in this race in the number 31 car, the Devonian. There he is, just going through shot now, and he's got Ali Topley. Is Topley gaining on him? No, not really. They're lapping in similar kind of lap times, and all of the roadsters in the world arrive together. And it is the 69 car of Danny Bryant that's going to try up and make up the move, the former drift driver. He prepares this guy, him and Jim Mew and Adam Lockwood. Well, they're all going pretty strongly in this race. They prepare their cars together.
And Bryant and Stratton side by side through McLean. Stratton runs wide over the curves to give Bryant a bit of extra room to make that move. But a great battle here between the Mark III Roadsters. And they sort of slide a little wide in front of Neil Stratton. So Stratton tries to use that to his advantage to fight back. And so 6th, 7th and 8th all together into the S's. But late on the brakes is the first of them, Jim Mew, to hang on in the KW car, and he's got a good exit to the S's. Not such a good exit for Danny Bryant, which gives Neil Stratton a little hope to try and make a move. He looks up the outside, can't make it. Behind them is former race winner Nick Williamson and Tim Heron, who's been around the MR2 Championship World Field like forever, and is that Heron that goes for a spin?
You're doing really well today, Josh. Yeah, he's off the circuit. He's been racing in the MR2s for a long time, but you wouldn't let me know it from that. Up towards Goddard he goes. 7 minutes of the race to go, about halfway through. So it's 27 Sean Trainer that leads. 11 Adam Lockwood is second. 3rd is 31 Ben Rowe. 4th is 41 Ali Topley. 5th is 71 Graham Mailing. 6th is 78 Jim Mew. And then 7th and 8th are side by side as they go into Redgate Corner, and at the moment I still can't pick which one of them's ahead. It was 69 Danny Bryant as they cross the timing line, but I think it's going to be Neil Stratton ahead as they dive down through the Craner curves this time. Yes, it is. So it's 84 Neil Stratton in 7th, 69 Danny Bryant in 8th, and it's Nick Williamson in 9th place only in number 22, further back than we normally see him, and 10th number 77 Tom Mailings.
Yeah, that's right. Almost pushing along there was Neil Stratton, but there are the leaders. Very little between Sean Trainer and Adam Lockwood. But here's that battle that I think are being caught by Nick Williams, and especially by Thomas Mailings. Tom Mailings is as quick as the top 4 there in 10th place. He went well in race 1 until he had a little issue, so he's trying to come back through. But here are the leaders. Adam Lockwood really going well. Sean Trainer is lapping about a second slower in the earlier race, so whether that's track conditions or the car's not quite as it was in race 1. We have seen a bit of track maintenance, haven't we, over the course of the day.
Lockwood's got a fresher car, hasn't he? Because he's not been out in the earlier race, so that may count for something as well.
Whatever the case is, it's meaning we've got a good battle up front, and Sean Trainer's being made to work harder than he did earlier on. Adam Lockwood, who's still quite new to this because he was in the Mark 1, wasn't he, not that long ago, switching to the Mark 3 Roadster in recent years. And Ben Rowe's not falling away particularly far, not as far as the other Mark 2s did in race 1, so Ben Rowe going well. He seemed to have a bit of a problem season last year, didn't he? Wasn't right at the front end, so he'll be happy to be there in third place, and only a couple of seconds behind the leaders. There was a car that had stopped there on the side of the road. Not too sure who that might have been, but the leaders that are lapping slower than Ben Rowe behind them, 2.3 seconds the gap, continue their way down the Craner curves. We did how many laps in race 1? We did 8 laps, and we're on lap 6 in race 2. There is Ben Rowe. Yeah,
a couple of laps to go at the end of this one. Feels about right. We're watching Ben Rowe, number 31, make his way out of the old hairpin towards Schwantz curve.
Taking he hasn't done much for the delivery of the car lately because it's still got Motors TV stickers on it, which it's from a while ago.
That seems like a very Ben Rowe kind of thing to do, really, doesn't it? It turns up and races it, and that's the most important thing. He spends most of the rest of his life driving to and from Devon with the car in the back of the truck, I think. Anyway, 4 minutes of the race left to go. He's doing a great job of driving in third place, and Ali Topley in fourth place, number 41, is not really catching him. Topley is now getting away, or continuing to get away from 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th, the 4 battling roadsters, headed by Graham Mailings. But Rowe, championship runner-up a couple of, or 3 years ago, wasn't he, I think? Had a big battle with Sean Trainer for the championship for a lot of the season, and then there was a collision at Coombe, I seem to recall, and it sort of all resolved itself in favour of Sean Trainer that year. Yeah,
Ben Rowe finished 3rd in 2017 and then 2nd in 2018.
Yeah, I think it was 2018 I was thinking of there with that instant. And he's still got the leaders in sight, hasn't he? I think he might even be a little bit closer than he was a lap ago, if anything. We'll see if that's borne out. It was 2 seconds between 2nd and 3rd at the end of the previous lap. There's going to be 2 laps to go as they start now lap 7. There's a yellow flashing light, which means there might be a yellow flag because of that car that stopped at the edge of the pit lane.
So I think that could be Cameron Bell. He hasn't come through recently, so it might be him.
Okay. So the gap, 1st, 2nd and 3rd, that did come down by 1.7 seconds, or to 1.7 seconds, with Ben Rowe doing his personal best lap on the last lap of 154.91. Oh, and there's more cars involved now. The hooligan racing car of Rhys Dorman is out, and the other one involved there is David Mustard, I think. So I think those two have come to grief. So we'll see if there's any further caution or intervention.
Last they came through, they were 8 seconds apart, so not quite sure how they've
conspired to get together.
Yeah. Although saying that, they both did a slower last lap, so I wonder if their contact was earlier on and they've both pulled off in what is a fairly safe position. As a sideways Jim Mew in 5th place. We've sort of got 6 cars that got themselves together here, but Jim Mew at the head of it was taking a Larry line through McLean.
He's got ahead of Graham Mailings. Mailings at Coppice has fought back though on the inside line in the red roadster, and has he done it? Yes, he has. I think that is not going to have the line down into Fockett. Yes, is he? So you've got them side by side for 5th, Mew and Graham Mailings, and a spin for number 82. That's Andrew Ruthven, the Coventry driver. He's gone off at McLean's into the gravel, but how's this sorted itself all out? Well, the answer is that Graham Mailings has lost ground here.
Yeah, he's behind Danny Bryant. I don't think, as you said, he was on not the optimal line heading into the S's, so that's given Mew the position. Bryant has come through, and now Neil Stratton's having to go as well. And behind Graham, Thomas Mailings. Tom Mailings comes up the inside of Nick Williamson, so it's all shuffled its way around in a bad way for Dad, but a better way for Son and a bit further back.
Ben Rowe on that lap has lost a bit of ground to the leaders. Adam Lockwood's transponder still playing up, I think, so he's not showing yet on our time screen. I think there he is, he's flipped through now. He's still 3/4 of a second behind Sean Trainer. We're working the last lap now. There's yellow flags going into Redgate, so no overtaking here. So hopefully these will stay line astern, as they are immaculately right now, with Nick Williamson now at the back of that group in the roadster, number 22, just trying to latch himself on for the final couple of miles or so of racing.
And behind them is Paul Cook, who has made no progress whatsoever, so obviously some type of problem with that car, you would think, because he was a podium finisher earlier on. So not the best of second races for him, as Jim Mew and Danny Bryant in 5th and 6th positions turn their way through. The Morgan Finch MR2 there of Bryant has a good run out of the old hairpin and up the hill to McLean's, and he can't get through, but behind Graham Mailings is back in front of Neil Stratton after that side-by-side moment they had a little bit earlier. But for the final few corners, Sean Traynor has to hold on to what is about a half a second or so lead over Adam Lockwood, who hops over the curves.
Yeah, he should be able to do it though from here for his second victory of the day, and a very good start to his bid to regain the title, which he's lost over the past couple of seasons to Aaron Cook. He'll be hoping, well, sure, that's just sort of been a sort of temporary loaning, like a library book to Aaron Cook, and Sean Traynor's won it 4 times in recent seasons. Will be able to add to his tally of championships. He's through Goddard Hairpin for the final time, and so for the second time today we say that it is Sean Traynor that wins in the Toyo Tyres Toyota MR2 Championship from Adam Lockwood in 2nd place. 3rd place is going to go the way of Ben Rowe. He wins the Mark II class. 4th place goes to Ali Topley, another race where he's had a better race than qualifying session. And then it's quite a gap back to 5th. And who's that going to be? It's going to be Danny Bryant this time. Or is it by the time they get to the line? It is by about a car and a half length. Danny Bryant is going to take the checkered flag from Jim Mew in 6th place. And then just waiting for confirmation as it comes up on screen. Yeah, Graham Mailings 7th. Neil Stratton 8th. Tom Mailings 9th. And Nick Williamson 10th, with only 3 seconds covering those half a dozen cars.
Across the line there goes Dave Hemingway, the best of the Mark 1s, and during the course of that race he set the new lap record there, 1 minute 57.60, which displaces Toby Sowery, who was here guesting, what, 7 or 8 years ago with a certain George Russell. He was, as they were going to get licence signatures. Good drive that from Sam Harper as well, because he started 31st. Issues no doubt in qualifying for Sam, but came back to finish 12th and did his personal best lap on the last lap, a 1:57.50 as well. And you sense that if he'd started a bit further near the front, he could have been contending for a top 10 position. So a good drive from Sam Harper. Let's have a look at the results at the end of the second of the day's Toyo Tyres Toyota MR2 Championship races. Again, easy for me to say. The win after 8 laps went to Sean Traynor. He was 0.85 seconds clear of Adam Lockwood in 2nd place, number 11. So 27 from 11. 3rd was number 31, Ben Rowe, winning Class B. 4th, number 41, Ali Topley. 5th to number 69, Danny Bryant. 6th to number 78, Jim Mew. 7th was number 71, Graham Mailings. In 8th place was number 84, Neil Stratton. 9th was number 77, Tom Mailings. And Nick Williamson, number 22, rounded out the top 10. Paul Cook, as Josh said, no real progress. He made it to 11th. Sam Harper did make progress to get 12th, and then 13th was Dave Hemingway, setting the new Mark 1 lap record on his way to 13th overall and the class win. Tim Heron, despite that spin, finished 14th, and Richard Centre, despite a retirement from race 1, finished 15th. Let's have a look a bit further back. Another Mark 1 driven by Nathan Harrison, 21st. Lee Brown was 22nd in that one. Nick Emily, 25th. We did lose a few though. Rhys Dorman, David Mustard. We also lost the number 30 car of Andy Williams during the course of that race. And also Tom Risley and Cameron Bell. Tim Risley, I should say. Anyway, there's one more race to come for the Toyo Tyres Toyota MR2s. That's right at the end of the day's programme. We'll see these mildly modified MR2s out again later. We've got more races still to come. Coming up next, though, we've got the Jaguar Club Enjo Championship, then Bike Sports and Formula V, before we see MR2s once again. And we look forward to seeing the MR2s back out later on. And they're actually out again in 12 days' time at Silverstone for their next round of the championship as well. So it's a busy start to the season for the MR2s. Let's hope very shortly that we'll be able to head down to the pit lane and hear from our race winner, Sean Traynor, after his second victory of the day. And we can now go down to hear from Matt with Sean.
Yeah, thanks very much. Down here with our race winner, which is Sean Trainer for the second time today. Sean, that one was a closer affair, wasn't it?
Oh, it was, yeah. No, I had a little bit of a misfire. It wasn't causing too much of an issue, but just at the points where I sort of needed a bit of power, it just wasn't quite giving it to me. And he was just so fast, set into the old hairpin. I was making probably a second gap, and he was just pulling it all back there every time. I was like, just go away for a minute. But no, it's good. 2 wins, I can't complain. But I've got to say, can I say to my grandson at home, he's been watching all day, and he's absolutely loving it. So, hello, Louis, enjoy it.
I'm sure he did. That was a great race, as we said there. The guys did actually speak upstairs about your pace, about a second off from what we had in race 1, so that explains it.
Yeah, and it was down a bit, and I think it's a little bit warmer out there. I don't know if we were all off a little bit on the pace, yeah. Oh, yeah? Right. So, yeah, I think well, I think we're all down slightly, so. But it was a little bit of a miss, so we'll have to find that before Snetterton in a couple of weeks.
Well, you're done for the day, 2 wins. You can now relax.
Yeah, I can go and have a little drink and watch the race.
Good stuff. Well done, Sean. Many congratulations to you. Adam Lockwood finishing in second place. As Sean said there for you, you put the pressure on.
I tried. There's certain places where I was a little bit quicker. Unfortunately, wasn't able to get past there. There's certain places that Sean was quicker, and he just managed to keep ahead. Made a couple of mistakes a little bit later on, and he managed to keep ahead. But yeah, I'm pleased to be up the sharp end again, so it makes a lot of difference.
It's good to see you there. It's your first race, of course, of the day, so you're a little bit fresher as well.
Yeah, definitely. And like Sean said, the pace is off a little bit from qualifying actually, but I think that the warmer track temps are probably not helping that. But yeah, see what I can do with Aaron Cook in race 3 for the group. So race 2 for me.
And of course, you're in the same class, aren't you? So that should be an interesting fight.
Yeah, should be good. Looking forward to it.
Good stuff. So are we. Well done, Adam. Many congratulations to you. Let's bring in Ben Rowe. Sorry, Ben. I know you're chatting away to Sean there. You win your class there. You kept very well with the top 2.
I did, yeah. I was just saying, it was my first proper podium in 2 years. So me and Sean used to dice all the time. But then there's 1 or 2 quick guys have come along in between, and they sort of fill gaps in between his times and my times. But I'm really pleased with that. Really, really pleased.
We thought you might have a little bit of a fight with Paul Cook, but there seemed to be some issue as he dropped down the field at the start.
Did he? I wondered. I mean, I didn't see him after he got his poor start, but when I was looking in the mirror, I could see Al behind me and I couldn't see Cookie, so I figured he maybe had a problem. But I mean, Al was keeping me very honest. He was coming. He was definitely. I wouldn't be surprised if he wasn't the fastest car on the circuit. For certainly the latter half of the race, because he was coming and coming. And
again for the top 2 there, about the track conditions, have they changed slightly with the oil being dropped down?
Well, the hairpin was definitely quite naughty. I mean, if you got too much on the power on the apex, you would lose the back end. But I mean, that was kind of fairly obvious after the first lap. The rest of the circuit was fine. I was saying to the boys, I sorted out my suspension geometry after qualifying, because I was driving along like this in qualifying. It was clearly not right. I'd messed it up at home, so I redid it when we were here, and the car seemed to go all right. I was on the pace, so we'll see how we go in race 2. So.
Yeah, good stuff. Well done, Ben.
Thank you very much.
There we go, our top 3 then from the race there. Ben Rowe with winning class, and then Adam Lockwood second, and the race win for the second time today to Sean Trainer. We'll leave it there. We've got a very big grid to get through for our feature race of the day, which is 2 hours and 5 minutes, and that's handed over to the Tagiwa Club Endurance Championship. So we'll head back upstairs to Ian and Josh.